All right, I have with me Anatoliy Polyanker, who looks after the MX series for Logitech. How are you? How are you doing? How has India treated you so far?
Hi Manas, pleasure to meet you. It's been great, very intense 3 days, but happy to be back to India.
Nice. See, we're meeting at a very interesting time because we are moving towards an AI first world where all the gadgets, the products that we use, the workplaces that we work in, even the apps, they're integrating a lot of AI into those workplaces, right? Everything is becoming smart from your workstations to your screens. But what you are doing, Logitech as a brand, you sort of serve as a connection between those smart systems and people through your product lineups, right? How do you think, or how important do you think that these products, these peripherals are in terms of serving as a critical interface between humans and artificial intelligence?
Yeah, you're spot on. We have been connecting people to their digital experience for almost 45 years. Actually, this year it will be 45 years since the company has been established. And we first connected people to their PCs with keyboards and mice. Then we were connecting people through the webcams and headsets, then to cloud experiences, video collaboration. Obviously, AI now is transforming our lives, transforming the way we work, and we stay very close. We already have AI implemented into our devices, and we help people in adopting the AIs and managing this kind of new ways of working. Like talking specifically about the advanced users, as a mix series targeting advanced users, we already see that a majority of them adopted AI into their workflows. Like I have been at some design studios in Delhi over the last couple of days. No experimentation, it's already there. So people would do the ChatGPT prompts from Tunana Banana. For Nana Banana, they would generate an image, and then they would go to the Adobe Illustrator and they would complete the work. So it is there, it's helping to save some time, but at the same time, it's coming with the complexity. So I specifically asked, okay guys, is AI replacing the existing conventional tools? And everyone told me, no, those conventional tools are still there, and AI is layered on top of the existing tools, which increases complexity. And this is where we play the role, how we help people to move between different apps. There's another layer of complexity. People are working across more devices. You would start your work on the mobile phone, you can continue on your tablet, and then you would finish on your desktop. And some people, early adopters, already use the XR glasses. So more devices, more operating system, people working on the go, finishing things when they're in the offices or their homes. And we play a role here to make things more streamlined, simpler, and more fluid.
But does that make it more difficult for you to define productivity? Because from what you tell me and how things have been, you solve for productivity, right? And that has changed. The definition of that has changed over the years. So does it make it more difficult for you, challenging for you?
I believe the definition is evolving.
Yes.
Speed is still important, right? Because the expectations are there, especially with AI. We all expected to do more in less time or to do more with the same number of resources. But as I already mentioned, this complexity really impacts how people work. And complexity results in the lack of focus and flow, especially for the creative profession and software developers. This mental state of being in the flow is so important. This is when you are the most productive. This is when you feel the happiness of just performing at your best. And it's not easy to achieve when you constantly need to shift between the apps, between devices. And this is where our experiences and our products come to help.
Okay.
With the MX series, with the MX Master 4, which we just launched in India in December, and we're seeing super positive response from the community and nice feedbacks. We brought two software features, actually. We brought some improvements on the hardware, but then the magic happens when the hardware and software work together. So we brought the first mouse with the haptic feedback, which gives you this multi-sensorial experience, which helps you to immerse more into your creation and helps you to be more precise and stay in the state of flow. Another experience, it's digital overlay on your screen. It's called Actions Ring. So you have 8 digital buttons, which you can turn into folders, and in total like 72 customization options, and very contextual. So you will have one set of tools for your Premiere video editing. You will have another set of tools for the Photoshop, etc., and you can customize to your needs.
All right.
So what we've done, we tested with users. We ask them to perform certain tasks in Photoshop without action ring, and then with action ring. And what we learned was 67% less movements of the mouse and the cursor on the digital screen, and it helped people to save 33% of that workflow time, so which is a huge time saving.
This is also very interesting because see, when you look at and when you think of Logitech, it is primarily a hardware first company, right? But now you're also solving for software. So is that something that we should expect more and more going forward, more thought towards that?
We'll need to work harder to change that perception, because for quite a long time we've been bringing hardware and software, maybe because you don't realize it's delivered through the software. Maybe it's good, but then we don't want to be seen as just hardware. Our philosophy, innovation philosophy, is design-led, software-enabled hardware. So we start with a design. We focus on specific user. One size doesn't fit all at Logitech. Focus on specific user. We understand the workflow. We understand the pain points, and we design the right experience, the right aesthetics for that consumer, the right software and hardware. This is when the magic happens.
Now, what you said, I look at it as a positive because Logitech as a company, the kind of products that you make, it's actually a good thing that you sometimes quietly shape how people work, and a lot of your products are not right in the face, right? Now, what I want to understand, like when you design a lot of your MX series products, for example, or any other product, how do you think about designing them in a way that they disappear in your workflow, but still make fundamental changes in the way professionals, creators perform their everyday tasks?
Yeah, so it's the focus on specific audience that helps us to deliver those experiences. When we deeply understand their workflows, when we deeply understand what works, what doesn't work for them, this helps us to design the right experience. And then the device becomes the extension of your hand. When you work as a software developer or creative professional, you're in front of the digital screen for 8 years per day, maybe even more, right? You need to be comfortable. You need to work faster. You need to be precise on the digital screen. You want the mouse to be extension of your hand. And this is what we hear from many users. I love MX Master because it becomes extension of my hand. It's like the sport equipment when you don't think, okay, what the specs of my tennis racket or the cricket bat, it just works.
Yes. Now, one thing which I also want to touch upon is AI. Of course, you spoke about artificial intelligence. We see it being integrated in all devices around us, be it phones, be it PCs, even TVs, refrigerators, everything has AI. When it comes to your lineup, keyboards, mice, webcams, how do you think, or like what sort of advantages do you think AI will give in terms of, let's say, responsiveness, privacy, or even personalization?
Yeah, so I can give you an example of the webcams. Will be already integrated for a couple of years. Before AI became a buzz, we were already implementing some of the machine learning in AI on our products. So you can do the fragmenting with our video collaboration solutions. When we are in the conference room, and there are multiple in the conference room, if I talk, the camera would recognize that I'm talking, the microphone would recognize that I'm talking, and I would be on the big screen, and the microphone would focus on me talking, not on the noise around me. So that's one example. On webcams, more kind of one-to-one calling. Again, it's the feature called right side. So if I'm in front of the camera and then I move slightly,
so it just readjusts
the camera readjusts itself.
Yeah.
So that's the power of AI within our products. Then how we enable people to manage that complexity. So the action rings I mentioned to you earlier, you can assign all your AI tools to that action ring. This is what I personally do. I have 4 or 5 AI tools which I use on a regular basis. And then I press the button and I quickly select. And it takes me to the right AI tool.
Completely irrelevant, but what's your favorite AI tool to use?
So still ChatGPT.
Still ChatGPT. Yeah. Any particular reason for that?
Well, I do more of kind of strategy work, messaging. Okay. So to me, it's more kind of something which is a big part of my work. I experimented with Midjourney, Firefly. So obviously, when you work for the advanced user community, I'm not a designer myself or not software developer. I have the team of product manager and designers.
Interesting how you didn't mention Gemini in that.
No, we use all. So the team is using all.
Okay. So coming to the India market now, when you talk about a lot of these products, right, it's a price sensitive market. When we cover a lot of these products, premium keyboards, mice, webcams, the obvious question is like, is this investment worth? Now, if you have to tell my viewers, my audience that, you know, why they should be investing on these products, what is the case that you would make?
it's always great to be in the market, because if we would be in Switzerland, where our headquarters is, and you would tell me, oh, India is price-sensitive market, I would think, yeah, maybe it's a price-sensitive market. I have been to Ambience Mall yesterday, and I can tell you I have seen some of the super premium French brands in that mall.
Yes.
So I don't think we can generalize India as price-sensitive market.
It's an aspirational market.
It's aspirational, but you still have the affluent population who has a disposable income to pay for the premium brands.
Okay.
You have the aspirational market who maybe not ready to pay now, but as soon as the income will grow, they will be willing to pay. So
you are confident that there is enough audience
we already see pretty strong success, and community was asking when the new MX Master was coming. So I see that interest.
But still, for anyone who's yet to make that move, what would you tell them to make that final purchasing decision as to why they should invest?
We need to illustrate how the product changes your life, how it helps you to be faster, more precise, stay in the flow.
Absolutely. Another trend that we have seen, especially after COVID, is how hybrid works, right? It's not just about work from office or work from home. People are now on the go, they're traveling, they're working more and more remotely. Is that something that you have considered? Are you also solving for that?
Yeah, so obviously hybrid work is a big kind of driver for the growth of the company, because when people establish two workspaces, one in the office, one in the home, and they also buy devices when they work on the go, in the cafes, at the airports, it kind of increases the overall number of devices people need in their lives. We see already kind of more established ways of working. It's kind of 2-3 days in the office, 2 days at home. But what I see, still an establishment of the big IT hubs or campuses. I've been to meeting some partners here in India, and you've seen modern offices out there. You see kind of ergonomic desks, but what you also see that most of the people just work on their laptops. So there's an opportunity to improve that experience. At the same time, the more progressive companies who really want to increase employee satisfaction, to lead the way in terms of kind of new ways of working, they start to see these advanced devices as strategic investment rather than expense.
Okay.
So if you can improve the productivity, if you can achieve better comfort, if projects can turn around faster, if you increase employee satisfaction and retention. Retention is so critical these days. If you lose someone in your team who is doing machine learning, how fast you will be able to find the replacement?
Yes, absolutely.
So everyone is competing for the best talent. And if you think the professional advanced users are like professional athletes, if you are in the professional cricket team, would you save on the equipment?
No, absolutely.
Probably not.
Yes.
The teams would start.
That's a learning for a lot of entrepreneurs, because at times they do save on.
Yes, but then they start to see more ergonomic issues. Yes, India is a younger market. So what you see is boys and girls sitting there working on their laptops. It doesn't hurt now, but if you keep doing that, in 3, 4, 5 years, you start having issues. So this is what employers need to kind of take into consideration.
Absolutely look at. Even the employees need to pay a little more attention towards it and have the right sort of conversation maybe. Now, probably my last question, when you look at 5 years ahead, and if I think of it, 5 years ago, things were so different. We had not seen a pandemic. We had not seen this whole AI explosion. So it's, I think, very difficult to predict, but still I would put you on a spot here and say, if we look 5 years ahead from now, how do you see the role of peripherals, like some of your MX series products evolve, and what will differentiate a truly intelligent work setup from what most professionals use as of today?
It's never easy to predict.
Yes.
What I know that
we need a crystal ball here.
What I know for sure, India will lead the way, right? So by the end of the decade, India will be #1 market in terms of software developers, #1 market in terms of the creative professionals. So it will continue to be highly strategic for Logitech as a company. In terms of how the workflows will evolve, I already mentioned to you, there will be more devices, there will be more apps, potentially more distractions. So we'll need to find a way to help people to navigate the complexity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. I think this was a wonderful conversation, and all the best for all your
Thank you,
plans.
Manas. Thank you for having me. Such a pleasure.